Let's see what we got. The real reason he joined Cash Money, what happened to Busta Rhymes. So this gonna be perfect because I'm a firm believer on Busta Rhymes is not that cold. Like, and I wanted to think in this one when it came to the verses and everybody kept talking about, oh yeah, there's nobody who could challenge Busta in the verses because da 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 da. Like he got like Busta is not that cool. Busta got one song that I like, which was the one with him and Janet Jackson. Gotta make them blind and scream. That one was cool. And like all his other songs was like put your hands with your eyes. Like I ain't like none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing he said was cool. Even when he got on the Chris Brown song, that shit wasn't cool. First I gotta do it, then I gotta say it, then I gotta get it. Anybody want on the matter. I was like, no, bro. Why they think that shit's so cool? But they be hyping him up. It's a lot of legends that they do that to. They be like, oh, this is a legend. Oh, he da lyrical. Nobody fucking with this person. That, and I was like, nah. So let's see why is Busta considered a legend? That's first of all why he joined Cash Money, why he left Cash Money. Like listen to that, like that is trash. Now I understand the hypeness, like the energy he brought. I like the energy, the hypeness. When he was skinny, he used to move all around the stage with the dreads and shit. I understand that. Videos was more. You know what I'm saying? He had some creative videos and shit like that. I understand that. But lyrically and music-wise, he was not cool. He was not that nigga. Now, let's see if they can prove it.
Hey. Let's go! Cause I'm feeling like I'm winning and I'm feeling like I gotta get away, but I know that I don't and I won't ever stop cause you know I gotta win every day. See, they really wanna pop me. Don't that you would never flop me. I gotta get it, then I gotta blow it, then I gotta show that every little thing a nigga did he be doing cause it doesn't matter cause I'm gonna run everything about a boom about a big. Do a lot of things, give it to a couple niggas that I always with it, then I gotta get it again.
That was trash.
Busta Rhymes is one of the most iconic names in the rap industry today. He came up in the late 90s and early 2000s and played a huge part in the shaping of the face of rap. Many people consider him a legend as he has a distinct style that sets him apart from other rappers. Once Busta hops on a beat, his unique flow and Jamaican style immediately stand out, and his distinctive gravelly voice grabs your attention instantly.
Come on. Come on. Why you adding this? I'm alright.
And I like his acting career better than the rapping career. When he was on
most rappers
Halloween
are fast and can rhyme words at the drop of a hat, and Busta Rhymes definitely has that skill. However, he brings a uniquely Jamaican vibe to the table. His charisma shows in every song he performs, and he manages to grab the attention of listeners even when he's only a featured artist. With his unique flow and raga-like style of rap, it stands to reason that his music is easily recognizable anywhere. After his rise to the limelight with his old group leaders of the new school, the rap icon broke out on his own and released Woo-Ha, Got You All in Check.
Busta Rhymes up in the place, true indeed. Yes, I got the record that's worth.
A single that went on to become one of his best performing hits and rocketed him to the forefront of the rap scene. He slowly took over the rap game by releasing a slew of best-selling albums before eventually signing with the massively
he's number one on the overrated artist. Birdman, he a nut on, but that's my dog.
Popular Cash Money Records. The label was known for launching the careers of artists that would eventually become superstars, but Busta Rhymes had already achieved that on his own, so it left a lot of people wondering why he chose to sign to Cash Money. Despite having slowed down in recent times, Busta Rhymes was a rap giant back in the 90s and early 2000s. He regularly topped the charts and has 9 full-length studio albums under his belt, including his platinum-selling debut, The Comin'. He has received 12 Grammy nominations in total and has landed on the Source's list of top 50 lyricists of all time. Since then, the rapper has slowed down as far as dropping albums go. Busta Rhymes was known for dropping albums on a consistent basis, but since he dropped his 2002 album It Ain't Safe No More, his forthcoming albums began to suffer multiple delays. So the question is, what happened to Busta Rhymes? How did he come up? Why did he join Cash Money Records? And more. What up guys, Ali here, and we'll get us a
Skinny Busta. I remember when that ball was on The Wayne brothers.
Trevor Smith Jr., more popularly known as Busta Rhymes, was born in Brooklyn, USA around 1972, where he attended school with fellow future rappers the Notorious B.I.G. and Jay-Z. His own journey into the rap industry started after he moved to Long Island and met Dinko D, Cut Monitor Milo, and Charlie Brown. The four of them formed leaders of the New School around 1990, the rap group that would launch Busta Rhymes to stardom. The group signed a deal with Elektra Records that same year and released their debut album A Future Without a Past around 1991. They released Time around 1993 before splitting due to frictions caused by Busta's rising fame. He was rising above his peers and getting more attention for his advanced rhymes and distinctly Jamaican-influenced bars. This was good for his solo career as he immediately became an in-demand feature. He featured with big artists at the time like former classmate the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, Big Daddy Kane, and the R&B trio TLC. It wasn't long before Elektra Records came calling once more and signed Busta around 1995. He would release his first album The Coming with them, preluded by his infamous mega single Woo-Ha Got You All in Check. The single performed so well that it earned him his first Grammy nomination, and the album.
Now, I think that single performed so well because at that time, it was just different. Like, ain't nobody ever heard no shit like that. Some wild, crazy, woo-ha. Like, it was different. Now, you had people like Onyx and all that had some wild shit, but it was on some wild gangster shit. He was on some wild, different shit. So
was eventually certified platinum. He released his second album When Disaster Strikes around 1997. It debuted at number 3 on the album charts and eventually went platinum. The leading single from the album, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, as well as the follow-up Dangerous, earned Busta Rhymes 2 more Grammy nominations. Extinction Level Event was released around 1998, earning him 3 more Grammy nominations and being certified platinum. Anarchy was released around 2000 and was also certified platinum. That's 4 platinum albums and 6 Grammy nominations from 4 albums. And you wonder why he has so many fans. Following the release of his 4th album, Busta Rhymes parted ways with Elektra Records and joined J Records. He released his 5th album Genesis with the new label. The latest album featured production collaboration with the iconic Dr. Dre and featured the mega hit Pass the Cavassier. It was eventually certified platinum too. He released It Ain't Safe No More around 2002, which was not as successful as his previous albums, but featured his hit single with Mariah Carey, I Know What You Want.
Alright, so that's the second one I like. I like the one with Janet Jackson. I like that one.
And still went on to be certified gold by the RIAA. He parted ways with J Records after his album release to join Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment. This is probably where Busta Rhymes made a mistake, because Aftermath Records was notorious for delaying albums, but we'll talk about this a bit later. Busta Rhymes' 7th studio album was called The Big Bang and was released 4 years later around 2006 through Aftermath. It sold about 209,000 copies in the first week and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. It was his first album at number 1 and it remained there quite comfortably, even eventually being certified gold by the RIAA. Following the album release, Busta Rhymes went on to feature on several other songs with different artists, including Puff Daddy, The Game, Big Pun, Black Moon, Notorious B.I.G., and Nas. Busta Rhymes may have been a world-class rapper that was releasing ridiculously good music, but that didn't mean he was above the drama that went along with the genre. He got into his first legal incident around 2006. The rapper was arrested and charged with third-degree assault following an attack on a man who allegedly spat on his car in New York. He appeared in court around October when prosecutors tried to amend previous charges to include weapons possession after a machete was found inside his vehicle. However, the judge threw out the additional charge and adjourned the case. After an altercation with his former driver Edward Hatchett, the rapper refused a plea deal offered by the prosecutor's office around 2007. This deal would have had Busta Rhymes plead guilty to both charges of assault, on both his driver and the former fan, and then spent 6 months in jail. On both his driver and the former fan, his disagreement with his former driver is believed to have originated over unpaid wages. The Manhattan judge offered Busta Rhymes the option of pleading guilty to third-degree assault. Under this deal, he would serve 5 days of community service, participate in youth lectures for 2 weeks, and a mandatory 6 months in anger management sessions. Before his sentencing reached its conclusion, he was arrested again in May of 2007 for driving without a license and while impaired in Manhattan. He was sentenced to 3 years of probation by a New York City judge around 2008. He was also ordered to take part in 10 days of community service and a drunken driving class. His license was revoked for 6 months and he had to pay a $1,250,000 fine in addition to his court costs. Busta Rhymes got into trouble again around 2009 when he got sued by a fan for about $75,000. The fan claimed that Busta Rhymes had thrown multiple water bottles at him and that his bodyguard punched him in the face. After a few years of legal drama, Busta Rhymes finally got around to releasing his 8th studio album. He had parted ways with Aftermath Entertainment and released his next studio album, Back on My BS, around 2009 through Universal Motown. Now, when Back on My BS came out, it didn't do big numbers in comparison to his previous effort. It sold about 59,000 copies in the first week and was his first ever album to fail to receive an RIAA certification. It was also his most controversial album due to the single A-Rap Money. As the first chapter of the Quran was sung and sampled in the chorus. This was strictly prohibited by A-Rap law, and the album was banned in the UAE. One DJ, Steve Smooth Sutherland, was actually suspended from his show in Galaxy FM after receiving multiple complaints when he played it. In response to the controversy, Busta released the following statement. Sometimes people like to twist things. We ain't mocking the culture. We ain't trying to be disrespectful. Ain't no racism going on right here. If you listen to the song, you see that we are actually acknowledging the fact that Arabian culture, a Middle East culture, is one of the few cultures that value passing down hard work, riches that's been built amongst the family. It would be nice if a lot of others to be like that in my culture, where we could build things to the point majorly in a financial way or in whatever other way to societies, communities, or whatever governments we might live in. So, we are actually bigging up the culture. At the end of the day, I want to be like that. I think a lot of us want to be like that. Now, after dropping this album, Busta Rhymes took a bit of a break and tried to figure out how to put out the hits he did in his heyday. 5 platinum and 2 gold albums is still very impressive in my opinion. But after his 8th album failed to gain certification, he seemed to want some time off. Around 2011, it was announced that Busta Rhymes had signed with Cash Money Records. He was incredibly excited about the signing and spoke about the deal with MTV at the launch of Google Music Monday in 2011. I'm extremely proud to be aligned with Cash Money. It's an unbelievably groundbreaking deal. There has never been a deal like this before, where the most powerful search engine in the world combined with the most powerful record company in the world. His decision was met with quite a high level of controversy. No one could understand why he would sign with them because he already had a successul 20-year career under his belt and he did not need to sign to Cash Money to escalate it further. From a strategic point of view, his signing to Cash Money made perfect sense. It's also...
I bet Bird was in the studio with Busta one day, they making some shit. And Bird was listening like, damn, nigga, you whacker than me. And I thought you was a legend, nigga. You was trash, man.
Reminiscent of the time when Busta Rhymes signed Aftermath Records around the early 2000s. During that time, Aftermath Records and Shady Records were at the top of the game due to Eminem's popularity and the release of 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. Naturally, when a label starts to get attention from the public, they attract other rappers who see a potential signing as a way to sell more records in the long run. Busta Rhymes released only one album on Aftermath Records called The Big Bang, one that produced memorable hits like Touch It.
Know that you went with me just for the record, so instead I'ma let Mary J. Blige come and set it. And I get low.
And I Love My Bitch.
Does she know my money long? She spend a dough on a dude. Real life chicken, let her fuck with a thug.
Now, when Busta Rhymes got to Aftermath Records, he quickly realized that Dr. Dre had a different way of running things and would sometimes treat him like an artist that hasn't dropped successful studio albums. Another issue was his follow-up to the Big Bang album suffered multiple delays, causing him to lose faith in the label. 9 albums later, I'm working on an album for 9 years. The album that I'm getting ready to release, I've been recording this shit since 2009. I credit that patience to the Dr. Dre experience.
Can't nobody beat Busta in the verses. Nigga, name me 5 Busta Rhymes songs that'll kill somebody. Like, no, come on, man.
When I was in Aftermath, this was the first time that I was stripped of the memorabilia of all my accolades and what I've accomplished and how great Busta Rhymes is. In my own head and from the people and from my f***ing resume, Dre be like, yo, you had a great one, but you want to do it different. You want to see new results, you gotta do it in a new way. Welcome to Aftermath, my nigga. I'm like, what the
better
fuck
not be a
do
white
this
man
mean?
talking.
During the time when Busta Rhymes joined
talk,
Aftermath, he unintentionally inherited a beef with Ja Rule. Around that time, the 50 Cent versus Ja Rule beef with...
Nah, that was a good one. Busta had a nice verse on that song with 50 Eminem and Whoop de Woo when it was like coming at Ja, and it was off the Hail Mary, off the Tupac Hail Mary beat, and then Busta part was decent. It wasn't all that, but it just since he was dissing a nigga, it felt decent.
Still an ongoing issue, one that according to 50 began when Ja Rule saw 50 Cent hanging out with the man that robbed him. But according to Ja Rule, the beef began because Ja Rule and Murder Inc. did not show 50 Cent any love during one of 50's earlier video shoots, causing 50 to grow resentment for them. Now when 50 got signed,
50 beef with a nigga like he was like Ja was the nigga who sent the nigga to kill him type shit. Like that's the type of beef he acting like Ja did. But for you to say, oh, they ain't show me no love coming up, niggas, that's just some hating shit.
Did not stop attacking Ja Rule and Murder Inc. The diss tracks between both parties flew, and one of them roped Busta Rhymes into the whole situation. Because Busta was now affiliated with Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and Eminem, Ja Rule dissed 50 Cent and G-Unit, as well as Eminem, Dr. Dre, Busta Rhymes, and Chris Lighty on a track called Loose Change, prompting Busta Rhymes to retaliate in the most vicious way. The track that came out in response from 50 Cent, Busta Rhymes, and Eminem was the deadly Hail Mary.
Park fans don't even fucking respect you. It's kinda funny when I be pop when I fake like you.
Initially, Busta Rhymes wanted to stay out of the beef, but once he heard Ja Rule go at him, he saw red. Now, Hail Mary is severely underrated as it contributed to the demise of Murder Inc. On the track, Eminem calls Ja Rule a Tupac imitator, a fake gangster, and a drug addict. 50 Cent calls Ja Rule gay, and disses his facial features, and Busta Rhymes comes in with the last verse to finish the job. Ja Rule should have probably left Busta Rhymes out of this one. By 2007, the tension between Busta Rhymes, Ja Rule, and Eminem had decreased, as Ja Rule said that he had no ill feelings towards them. Now, his first single with Cash Money Records had him partnering with Chris Brown on the song Why Stop Now. Interestingly enough, the song Why Stop Now inspired the Busta Rhymes challenge.
It's your boy Busta Rhymes back at it again. And truth be told, I really do want to see y'all do that on YouTube. I want to see everybody do that on YouTube. I want to see babies do it on YouTube. I want to see girls doing it on YouTube. I want to see boys doing it on YouTube. I want to see dogs doing it on YouTube. I want to see cats, rats, squirrels, and...
This was supposed to be the single for his next album, which was supposed to be titled ELE, Extinction Level Events 2 End of the World. Following this, Busta Rhymes had one of his songs leaked titled Can You Keep Up, and it was made in partnership with Twista.
Now that's when I fuck with Twista. As a fast rapping person who be saying some shit and really rapping, gotta give it to Twista. And then after Twister, I say Bone Thugs and Harmony. Busta not even on that. Not even on that
The
level to
promised
me.
collaboration with Google Music finally arrived in 2012. Surprisingly, it was not ELE2 that was released, but rather Year of the Dragon. It contained none of the singles that he had recorded for ELE2, and today is generally overlooked despite
That
it
shit
being
was
his
trash.
9th studio album. The album was free and featured appearances from Robin Thicke, Lil
Thicke.
Wayne, Trey Songz, Mano, Gucci Mane, Rick Ross,
Throwback
and
Gucci.
several other artists. He would also feature on the Fat Joe's Pride and Joy alongside Jadakiss and Kanye West.
Pride and
He
Joy,
then
I
released a
remember
music
that one. I
video
liked
for
that
Doing It Again, featuring Reek the Villain.
End up causing a gang of traffic. And yes, I'm doing it again in case you decide to ask it. Another.
The music video was a tribute to Chris Lighty, his former manager who took his own life around 2012. A few months
I thought
later,
Chris
he would
Lighty got
partner
killed.
with Reek the
Alright.
Villain again to release the mixtape Catastrophic around 2012. Unfortunately, ELE2 was consistently postponed despite regular promotion for the album. He even recorded several singles that were supposed to appear on it, namely Twerk It with Nicki Minaj, Calm Down featuring Eminem, and Thank You, which featured Lil Wayne.
That what he should have did. Busta should have did more songs with Eminem, especially when he was on Aftermath. He should have did more songs with M, and that probably would have.
Kanye West, and Q-Tip. Now, around 2012, Busta Rhymes got into a mild verbal altercation with DJ Charlemagne the God
I think I
at
remember
Nobu. The pair, who had obviously arrived separately, were at a party celebrating Melanie Fiona, who had just been nominated for
I thought that was Lil Mama.
Grammy. Busta arrived later and then approached Charlemagne because he was upset about an interview that one of his children's mothers had done on the Wendy Williams show around 2004. Charlemagne had
But that's not even a direct beef for Charlemagne. I thought it was some bullshit Charlemagne probably said, but Wendy Williams was a messy bitch, boy. She was. That's what Charlemagne get that messy shit from. You hear me? Working under Wendy, that was a messy motherfucker. I thought that was a man for a long time until they said she had kids. But I'm like, even then, that shit could be fake. But I thought that was a man for a long time. But as she get older, I'm like, all right, it's a woman. She just got a lot of manly features.
and a co-host on the show from 2006 to 2008, and Busta had mistakenly thought that he had taken part in the interview and had been disrespectful towards him. The miscommunication led to the
Nigga, I
two of
wasn't
them
even
getting
on
up
that
in each
show. I
other's
wasn't even
faces,
there.
but luckily it did not escalate further than that. In an interview with The Breakfast Club that same week, Busta Rhymes said about the altercation, "Just so you understand about me and the way I was conditioned, and just the morals and principles that I come from
Gotta respect it,
as
though. You
far
gotta check
as
that shit.
code of ethics.
Like, I ain't about to
As a
do no
man,
show with you, no
if there's an
nothing until we
issue,
get this
I
business
approach you
handled.
to
Gotta get this shit
discuss
straight.
it, and that's
talk.
it. I ain't here trying to hype things up on these platforms and social networks and act like I'm something that I'm not. I ain't no gangster. I ain't no tough guy. I'm just a man, and I live by certain morals and I
That's
live
how I
by
feel.
certain
Like, nigga,
principles.
I
And if those
stand
get
on certain
violated, disrespected, or compromised in any way, we're gonna have to have a discussion. Simple as that.
right.
After a 2.5-year stint with Cash Money Records, Busta Rhymes announced that he was leaving the label around 20.
So they just did that whole little stint and couldn't talk about one song or nothing that Busta put out when he was with Cash Money. That whole run was just for nothing really. It
14.
was
He
useless.
cited creative differences between him and the label as the reason for the split, and also
When I thought Bird let you do what you do. I thought Bird don't get in your way. He don't stop you from being the creator that you are. Like, he just let you go free, do your thing, and that be that.
later admitted that it was also partially due to the death of Chris Lighty. I was there with for 2 years, and the opportunity was a great opportunity at the time because of the type of deal that was done. For me, with all this particular project,
Oh, so he really just did it for like a money move type shit. Like, boom, I come signing y'all for 2 years, probably for like 5 to 10 million, some shit like that. Probably 5 million for 2 years. Put out a project, and then I'm going by my way. I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
all of the sacrifice that went into it, recording the album for 5 years. I lost Chris Lighty making this album. I lost my father making this album. The I was putting into this album, I'm not compromising my vision for it. So if I feel like if, in the slightest way, we ain't facilitating everything necessary for the vision to be seen and executed in the way I'm envisioning the shit for the last 5 years, let me live and die in my own inequity. The split was completely amicable and there is no beef in the situation, but unfortunately, with his exit from Cash Money Records, the promised ELE2 album would not be released, at least not then. The promotional singles he had released for the album became standalone tracks, and the song Thank You was quite literally his thanks to Cash Money Records for all of the work they had done together.
Again, stop killing me, wolf. Wop, beat it till he drop, biggity poof. Oxy me.
After leaving Cash Money Records, Busta Rhymes was relatively silent and did not release or appear on a song until around 2015, and his features thereafter were not as regular as they had been in the early 2000s. Busta's next claim to fame did not come from music or TV. A small uninhabited lake island in Massachusetts was named after.
They don't never talk about Busta the movie run. Like I said, that Halloween H2O, some other shit he was on. They don't never talk about it or short clips.
Him. The island was named Busta Rhymes Island unofficially by a resident because it had rope swinging, blueberries, and stuff Busta would enjoy. Despite attempts to make it official, regulations made it impossible for the name to become legal, and the attempt was dropped. Busta featured Kelly Rowland and Missy Elliott on his next single, Get It. The single was released through Epic Records around 2018. He also featured on Azalea Banks' Fantasia 2, The Second Wave, on the track Tastes State. Now around 2018, 50 Cent decided to troll Busta Rhymes. Despite both rappers having a good history together, they had beef in 2018 following an Instagram post where 50 claimed that Busta had the strongest neck in hip-hop history. The post was captioned, and the award for the strongest neck in hip-hop goes to Busta Bus. Yay. LOL. He followed up with another post of Busta Rhymes with a bleeding head.
But Busta probably got number one and then, I don't know, they probably tied neck and neck.
Wound from when he fell off a stage in 2014. He captioned the post, "This was God sending Busta Rhymes a message. I think he wants him to slow down on the drinking. You can't drink and shake your head that fast." Positive vibe. Busta Rhymes took a while to reply. However, when he did, he came in swinging hot. Following the theme of dissing based on physical appearances, he said, "Damn, I'm just paying attention to what's going on because I've been busy finishing this new album. I heard your ass was acting up, my brother, at 50 Cent. Your tough look looks funny as hell. You tight button face having ass. You look like you were smelling shit. Like your bandana stink. You rented face looking ass motherfucker." Then he took a smashing hit at 50's rap, saying, "You started with me for. That's why I'ma keep busting your ass in every fucking body else on every stage. You deflated, tired performing face ass nigga." 50 came back with a tweet saying, Busta,
you can't call nobody deflated face ass nigga. Come on, Busta. Not you.
Rhymes is mad at me because I said he has the strongest neck in hip hop. But he got the strongest neck I ever seen. F it. LOL. Both artists later came out to say that the posts were all in good fun and there was no beef between them, with 50 Cent deleting the post that sparked the drama. As referenced in the posts, Busta announced that he was finishing up with his latest album with Dr. Dre around 2019. Busta Rhymes would even go on to appear on the 4th season of a TV show called The Masked Singer as Dragon. However, Busta Rhymes was eliminated in the very first episode of the show.
Was he singing? I gotta hear that shit. I know that voice should be recognizable anywhere.
Busta Rhymes finally got to release his last album, Extinction Level Event 2, The Wrath of God, around 2020. The album featured several artists like Rakim, Kendrick Lamar, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Q-Tip, and
all them people, and they still can't save or make that album better. Like, I'm pretty sure that shit sounded dated. You've been working on it for fucking 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like, It was already trash before that, and then you.
OP, and many others. Interestingly,
And I don't
Busta
want it to
Rhymes
sound like I'm hating, but to me, like, it's facts. It's like when you go back and you listen to this shit, it's like it's not that. And it probably was that at that time, maybe. You know what I'm saying? At that time, it was a little different. But when you listen to it, it just facts should be facts. Like, even at that time, he's not saying nothing. He wasn't saying shit in them songs.
belongs to the 5% Nation. The Black nationalist movement, also known as the Nation of Gods and Earths, believes that only 10% of the world's population is aware of the truth of existence. The movement is one of the most influential movements in the world of hip-hop.
You know, he got percentage, the rich poor is the
Rakim featuring Dr. Dre.
I guess all
In
this
conclusion,
is
Busta Rhymes is one of those artists that has proven his worth in the hip-hop world. His career spans 3 decades. Although he's not as popular as he once was in the early 2000s, his resume is very impressive.
Yeah, he got a resume because he worked hard. That was shows. It shows he's a hard worker.
Coming down your floor like this now.
Big ass
Reaganomics so cracked the mothers in their babies. Things was running around with stolen shit to sell me crazy. Man, I took some shorts and a couple nickel cracks I gave them.
Dr. Dre
back in the kitchen now. Matter of fact, we've been in the kitchen, but the difference is I'm back in the motherfucking cook up with my brother. Gonzalo.
My brother.
Gonzalo. Contreras. Yeah. Full course meal is almost ready. Gonna give y'all some hors d'oeuvres soon. Yeah. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. Stay tuned, motherfuckers.
What happened to Busta Rhymes in your opinion? Let me know down below. Video requests? Be sure to let me know down below.
Yeah, man, like I said, just overrated. Like, I don't want to keep hating on him, but he's just overrated. That's all it is to me. I ain't never put on a Busta album. I could never put on a Busta album. I don't think I listened to a whole Busta song besides the Janet Jackson one. And you know the hit singles that he had, but even then I couldn't listen to all that shit. Like, nah. Now, if y'all could prove me wrong, man, put it in the comments and like just put certain songs that I should listen to, or even a quote, like put a fire line. I don't even want to go hit a song. Put a quote or a line he said, a ball, something, you hear me? Like, I don't know, man. Put it in the comments, we'll talk about it. You know?
Don't do it for the bar, just do it for the bar, just